Perfeito, aquiesta, rotero, completo, Ingles conectando, Joanna Macy, ad active hope. Seguindo, estructura, hipnotica, e magnetica, q voca, solicitud. Title: Active Hope, Transforming Eco-Anxiety with Joanna. Macy's Wisdom INTO RDU CTOA in 5 paragraphs. Emotive, asks for likes. Subscriptions. Have you ever felt the weight of the world pressing on your chest? A trembling ache you cannot ignore. Before you scroll away, pause, because what you are feeling is the heartbeat of life itself. If this resonates like this video, share it and subscribe. Join us on a journey that might just awaken something long dormant within you. The world is breaking, and yet, in the same breath, it calls for courage. Every tree felled, every ocean rising, every species fading is mirrored in your own pulse, in your own fear. Joanna Macy teaches us that this is not despair, it is the raw material of hope. But not any hope. A hope born in the fire, of reality, forged in acknowledgement and nurtured by action. What if I told you that the trembling in your chest, the sleepless nights, the eco-anxiety you try to ignore, are in fact your compass? That the very ache that makes you feel powerless can become the source of profound power? You cannot unfeel what you feel, but you can transform it. This is the paradox Joanna Macy presents. We must look at the world as it is, without sugarcoating, without escape, and yet, from this awareness, cultivate courage, engagement, and purpose. Each moment you look at reality squarely in the eyes, you participate in creation and possibility. Stay with me. Every word, every pause, every reflection. Here is a key. 1 second skipped, 1 glance away, and you might miss the thread that connects. Your personal grief to the world's healing. This is not a video, it is a doorway. Step through it. Asterisk. Eco-anxiety whispers in the quietest corners of your mind. It does not shout. It lingers in the sighs between daily tasks, in moments when the news becomes unbearable. Joanna Macy calls this feeling a gift, a signal of connection, not a symptom of weakness. To acknowledge this pain is revolutionary. In a culture that tells you to numb, to distract, to ignore, to deny feeling deeply, is resistance. And resistance is fertile soil for active hope. Active hope begins with seeing. Seeing the forests burned, the rivers choked, the cities drowned, and yet even as we see, we do not collapse. We open. We breathe into the reality of this moment. The work that reconnects asks us to name our grief, to sit with it, to honor it. As a guide, grief is not the enemy, indifference is. When we touch grief, it awakens responsibility, courage, and the spark of action. You may feel small, helpless, and indeed the scale of the world's suffering is vast. But your small acts ripple. Every gesture of care, every voice raised, every moment of witnessing carries potency beyond measure. Macy reminds us there is no separation. The rivers cry, the trees falling, the species lost, echo within. Your nervous system, in your dreams, in your silent prayers. Active hope is born in this mirror of recognition. To engage with active hope is not to promise solutions. It is to commit to being present, to acting where and when possible, to sowing. Seeds without certainty of harvest. Hope becomes a verb, a practice, a rhythm. Imagine a circle of people holding their grief, their trembling, their despair, and together lifting it into understanding. This is the community of active hope where despair meets purpose, fear meets courage, grief meets action. Every step you take, no matter how small, is part of a larger narrative. Joanna Macy's work teaches that our individual grief and action weave together into collective transformation. You are not alone, and your participation matters. And so, the trembling that once paralyzed you now guides you. Eco-anxiety transforms into vigilance, into care, into courage, into hope and action. Asterisk, to practice active hope is to recognize the depth of interconnection. Every breath, every heartbeat, Every tear is a thread in the fabric of the living earth. Joanna Macy calls this seeing the great turning. A pivot from consumption and disconnection toward responsibility and love. Our culture often frames hope as passive optimism. Joanna Macy reframes it as active engagement. Rooted in the stark truth of suffering and the choice to participate in change, imagine feeling the world's pain as a pulse running through your own veins. Every act of care, no matter how small, resonates. You are a node in a network of living intention, witness and participant in the healing of the earth. Active hope is a practice, not a promise. Plant seeds knowing the storms may come, yet you plant. You speak truth knowing the winds of denial may howl, yet you speak. You grieve knowing the losses are real, yet you grieve. In this paradox, transformation occurs. The anxiety that once shrank you expands into empathy, into courage, into commitment. The world's grief becomes your teacher. Your own fear becomes the fuel for participation. To live in active hope is to embrace uncertainty. The outcomes are unknown. The paths are jagged. And yet there is purpose, there is meaning, there is belonging. Joanna Macy reminds us, despair without action becomes paralysis. Hope without acknowledgement of suffering becomes fantasy. An active hope walks the middle path, full awareness, full engagement, full presence. Every time you notice a tree, a bird, a river, a neighbor, a stranger, you practice hope. Every moment of mindfulness, of connection, of courage, ripples into unseen networks of transformation. The work that reconnects guides us through grief, gratitude, and vision. These are not steps to escape reality, but keys to inhabit it fully. And in inhabiting it fully, hope awakens, not naive, not passive, but active. So feel it, breathe it. Let the trembling of eco-anxiety become the rhythm of action. Let the ache become the teacher. Let your heart become the doorway through which hope flows. Asterisk, the heart of Macy's teaching is that grief can be fuel. Eco-anxiety becomes a guide, a signpost toward meaningful engagement. It's through reflection and collective practice. Despair transforms into clarity. Participants are invited to imagine the future they want to nurture. Visualizing hope allows action to flow naturally from intention. Active hope is a commitment to act even when results are uncertain. Macy emphasizes that small actions ripple outward, creating waves of change. Grief without action stagnates. Action without awareness exhausts. By pairing feeling with doing, we honor both our pain and our power. Every choice, every gesture becomes part of a larger story of resilience. And care.*hope is not solo, it is woven through networks, communities, and shared rituals. Joanna Macy highlights group practices where individuals share grief, support, and inspiration. Collective acknowledgement magnifies insight. Shared action magnifies impact. When we act together, eco-anxiety is transformed into solidarity. Web of life is mirrored in community life, interconnected, interdependent. Active hope thrives in circles of listening, reflection, and shared commitment. Participants report feeling lighter, empowered, and more capable of sustained action. Community transforms anxiety into care, and care into action. These practices remind us that hope is cultivated, not found. Solitude may be sacred, but the world changes in communion. Active hope is a choice, moment by moment, action by action. It is not optimism, it is courageous engagement in reality. Joanna Macy teaches that despair is the doorway. Action is the path. You do not need to fix everything, just begin where you are. Each act of care reverberates through the world. Eco-anxiety becomes a compass, pointing toward meaningful work. Connection to the earth and to others fuels perseverance. Your grief is proof of your capacity to care deeply. Active hope asks only that you step forward, awake and intentional. The future is co-created with every choice, every gesture, every heartbeat aligned with life. The earth is calling you not to be fearless, but to be faithful. Every seed you plant carries the possibility of a future alive. Grief is not a burden. It is a spark of awakening. Your action, however small, is a thread in the web of life. When despair whispers, listen to it, honor it, and respond with courage. Hope is not waiting, hope is acting. Community and connection amplify every choice you make. Active hope is living fully, consciously, courageously. Let your heart be the compass, your hands the instruments of care. The world remembers those who act with love, even in uncertainty.